YouTube is full of videos about good knives. It's full of videos about bad knives. It's high time that someone makes a video about weird knives. This is 3 Weird Knives, and I'm your host, JJJinks!
Let's get weird.
Welcome back, folks, to another episode of 3 Weird Knives. To kick off this week, I thought I would start with a Multitool. It's got a knife in it, that counts, right? This is a, Sheffield Multitool with a hammer in it. I have not seen something like this before the first time I laid eyes on it, which was about, I'd say 3 years ago at a gas station somewhere in the Midwest. And I don't remember how much I paid for it. I want to say it was like $15. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I've never seen a hammer in a multi-tool. How weird. It is one of the most uncomfortable hammers you'll ever hold. You don't get a whole lot of momentum to it because it's such a short hammer. So you really got to whack at it to, get the same amount of force as you would with a properly long hammer. Now, the hammer also doubles as pliers. You can kind of see that thing going on here. And there's this piece hooking off the back that's held in place by this little pail. So you kind of squeeze down on it a little bit and move the pail out of the way. And now you have hammer pliers. Sort of. They don't open too wide, kind of like that. But it's got this sprung piece of steel here so that you can sort of give it that springy plier action. And I guess you got wire cutters in there too. That's the angled pieces. Anyway, you got some other stuff. There is a Phillips head screwdriver kind of hidden back here. Good luck actually lifting it out. It's going to rip off your fingernail if you really try. Which is the problem I have with a lot of these kind of compact multi-tools is it's all thumb nicks. Now I can get the main blade out, no problem. Here you go. Just a drop point stainless steel kind of deal. The rest of it, I'm going to need help. I'm going to use this pair of toenail clippers. I just wanted to show a couple of things in here. For one, you have a rather aggressive looking saw. It's basically a serrated section of blade. Very hard to open. I guess you got a flathead screwdriver thing on the end. And on the back side, you have a file, a very, very fine file. You can barely feel it's there. I don't think you can do a whole lot with that. It's outside of fine work. And then there's a can opener that I've never been able to lift open. But last but not least, you have this little piece right here. And for the longest time, I didn't know what that was because I just couldn't freaking budge it until I grabbed something to yank it out with. And you have yourself a little teeny tiny a flathead screwdriver. Imagine actually trying to use this thing. It's this big honking chunky thing that's heavy. You just exhaust your wrist. Just get a screwdriver. This was a truck stop find. So, had to get it in my collection. The Sheffield Multitool Hammer. Up next, this one's an oldie but a goodie in my collection. It is the Torch. It has made its way onto my screen once before, but that was a long time ago, and I figured it's weird enough that it fits in with this series very well. So what you get is a very large pouch. I mean, that thing sticks out really far. And what's inside is the Torch. So I did a video about multi-bladed knives, and this was one of them that took advantage of different types of symmetry in order to achieve 4 blades. On the back of the box, somewhere, here we go, you can see that you can get in the same style the single blade, which they call the backdraft, and then the quadruple blade, which they call the twin Firebirds. So this one having 4 blades would be, an equivalent number of blades to this one, but just with a different kind of symmetry. I prefer the Torch. It's not too comfortable in the hand. There's lots of angles to this thing and lots of edges. And I know that this inlaid metallic piece is really not a whole lot more than like aluminum foil, basically. Because I remember seeing a video a while ago of somebody basically dismantling one of these in a very rough way. They'll never be able to use it again. For what? I don't know. And yeah, this basically just ripped off as if it were foil. I would like to see them blend this idea with this knife. Imagine taking one of these knives and just attaching one to the butt end, and then you have two. That's 8 blades. But why stop there? You can go perpendicular and make like a plus sign and have 16 blades. And then you can go into the third dimension and get kind of a 3D plus sign across, you know, the orthogonal position. And then you'd have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 blades. I don't know how you would hold such a thing, but if I had a whole mess of these, that's definitely something I'd like to build just as a work of art. So the blades themselves are serrated and recurved, and they're all liner locks where the liner goes way too far, so, you know, fit and finish wise, it ain't the greatest, and it is a little dangerous to wield. And when the blades are closed, they make these 4 kind of spiky looking things, which makes it dangerous even without the blades. The Master Cutlery Torch. And the third knife is this one, which I got because of its very unusual mechanism. See, what you have is a blade attached to a handle by these 2 weird gear looking things, and here's how you open it. You sort of lift and push, and what you get is a little karambit. And the locking mechanism is kind of interesting. There's this bar that pops up towards the end, locking it into place. So to close it, you got to push this bar down, and then you can reverse the mechanism. And at the end, you got a little bottle opener. They claim this is a glass breaker. Whatever. But you can open it one-handed. If you put one of your fingers through the ring here, then you can kind of use it to push off the blade, and there you go. But yeah, pretty unique, pretty unusual. Of course, everybody watching this video probably knows that this is a knockoff of the CRKT Provoke, except it only costs $12, and the Provoke is probably much, much better. I see people opening the Provoke on videos. I don't own one. It might even be open assisted. I'm not sure. I've never handled one, and I don't own one. But this is very fidgety, and I can see why people like the Provoke for just doing this. And you got yourself a little pocket clip on the back just to complete the knife. It was purchased from a company called Promethi, and I think I might have gotten the last one because it is no longer available. Join me next week. It's just gonna keep getting weirder.